Today I'm going to be giving you a closer look at this electric makeup brush cleaner. So let's take a look at everything that comes in here. You have a simple glass bowl where you'll be cleaning your brushes in. And you also have your charging dock, which is where you store all of your silicone sleeves that connect your makeup brush to the actual brush cleaner. And then the brush cleaner can sit in there to be charged. There's also a non-slip pad that goes underneath that glass bowl. And here is your electric makeup brush cleaner itself. It also comes with a simple little instruction manual and a charging cable, which is a mini USB to USB. So to charge this, it has a rechargeable battery inside. You simply plug in the cable onto your charging dock where all the silicone sleeves are stored, and then you can plug it into an adapter in the wall. And the actual brush has a little docking stand right there that just sits right inside to charge. Okay, so let's get started on use with this product. You're going to want to fill up the glass bowl, making sure that you don't exceed the halfway point. And depending on the sizes of your brushes, if they're a little bit larger and they're going to be sloshing up more water, you may want to go lower than half of the bowl filled with water. For my smaller brushes, filling it half full works. Go ahead and squirt in some soap. I'm just using hand soap here. You just want a mild detergent to help you clean your brushes. And then you'll take your brush and find the appropriate silicone sleeve. Now, one side of the sleeve is going to be square shaped that fits onto your cleaner itself, and the other side you'll want to match up size-wise with your brush. So I'm using the smallest one here because this is a thin brush, and then you simply snap it on to your brush cleaner. And go ahead and place the brush so that it's in the water inside the bowl and turn on. You're going to want to clean this for about 5 to 10 seconds. Sometimes it's more like 15 for me, depending on the kind of makeup that I use in my brush and how soiled it is. Okay, and then once you've run it in there, you can go ahead and check it to make sure that it's clean. And then you'll hold it inside the bowl so you don't spray water everywhere, but above the water line, and turn it back on for about 35 seconds. And this will dry your brush. And that's really effective. You get a nice thorough clean with soap, and then you pull it out and the brush is pretty much dry. There might be some dampness occasionally, which you could just run it for a little bit longer if that's the case, but my brushes come out dry and ready to be put back away. Okay, so this is a good brush to demonstrate with next. Most of my brushes are not thin round points. They're kind of more thick and flat at their base. So just to show you here, these silicone sleeves are really flexible, so you can fit them inside. So these don't just work with round brushes. You can see that you can squeeze them flat and be able to fit your brush inside. And then it'll simply clip on. You just want to make sure that you find one that is not too large for that to fit in, but that it can slip in there nicely. And then it washes just the same. So these sleeves are flexible and not made for a particular kind of makeup brush. I've used this set to clean all of my makeup brushes, from the very smallest tips to the ones that have the widest ends. I can put small, tiny little brushes in here, and also my largest brushes will fit in here well. You can see that the largest sizes are very, very big, so you could have just humongous brushes. There's nothing really that's too big for this set. And it's nice to see the makeup brushes that I'm showing here have pink tips, so they're not supposed to be white. So that's not residual makeup, that's just the tip of the brush. But before that, they were looking like other colors, my makeup colors. So it's nice to see them coming out looking really nice and clean and having a pink tip once again. So here's an example of a really thin, narrow brush. So I have to use my tiniest silicone sleeve on this one. And while it is a little bit loose because it's so thin, it stays in there nicely. That sleeve has a good grip. So even tiny little brushes will fit in here nicely. So this is a really easy process. You don't have to stand there and try to rinse the makeup out by hand, and it only takes, a couple of minutes to do all of your makeup brushes. Just a matter of filling up that bowl with water and a little bit of soap, and then finding the individual silicone sizes for all the brushes and running them all through there for 10 to 15 seconds, maybe a little bit longer if you have kind of caked on makeup on the brush. But most of the time, 15 seconds is sufficient to get all of my brushes clean, and then you just hold them up to spin dry, which is really nice that it'll spin it out dry so you don't have sopping wet brushes like I normally do when I wash them in the sink, and you just spin it out for about 35 seconds, and then you're on to your next brush. So this is a good example of when your battery's kind of starting to die on your electric brush cleaner. It didn't come completely charged when I got it, so before I was quite done with my brushes, the battery was starting to die, and so it was slowing down, as you can see in its spinning motion. But it's just a matter of simply charging that to get right back to it. And here's one of my largest brushes that I use for foundation. But the thickness at the bottom is no problem for this set. I can easily find one that fits it. The larger your brush, when you put it in there to spin, obviously you're going to spin up more of that soap and water, so sometimes it spits out a little bit if you have a really large brush going in there. When you're all finished, cleanup is easy. You simply dump out that soap and water, rinse out your bowl, and then you can take your set and plug it into charge to make sure that that brush cleaner is ready for your next use. There is an indicator light on this brush cleaner, so you can tell when it's flashing that it is charging. And that has been your closer look at this makeup brush cleaner.